Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, we will be looking at one interesting momentum indicator which is named as Trend Intensity Index. And from the name, you can make a informed guess that this indicator is going to give us a good idea of the intensity of the trend, whether the trend is bearish or bullish. We also need to know its intensity, its relative strength, whether the momentum is strongly bullish or bearish, or it is simply mildly bearish or bullish. Also goes on to make a significant impact while making the trading decisions. So we always have to be mindful about this intensity, and that's what this indicator tries to gauge and help us in figuring out the trading opportunities. So let us now head to the JForex 4, the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. There is the Euro USD chart with the each candle period defined at hourly. This long candle was a result of the US CPI, where there was this sharp spike in the dollar on the lower side. As the dollar depreciated, we saw most of these major currencies gaining ground and appreciating against the dollar. So after that, the euro has lost some of its ground, but it is still up compared to where it was at the start of that event. Now we will look at that release at some other point. At the moment, we are going to discuss about the TII, Trend Intensity Index, which can be found simply by doing a quick search. If you type in Trend Intensity Index at the quick search option, you will get this indicator. Here it is, TII. It is a bounded indicator. Its value is going to vary from 0 on the lower side to the 100 on the higher side. So the 0 is the lowest reading, indicating the most bearishness of the trend, and 100 is the highest reading, indicating the most bullishness of the bullish trend existing up move. So once we see that the momentum has touched this level, it is not going to rise beyond that. The momentum is simply strongest point, is at the strongest point. So you can indeed go looking for newer opportunities. You can indeed go for the trade, and for this indicator, it is to be avoided considering the overbought or oversold scenarios. Actually, this is not going to be used like RSI or other momentum indicator, where we can also use these extreme values to stand for overbought and oversold scenarios. But for this indicator, it is more often with the trading system, and here higher the intensity of the trend, better the possibility of outcomes being on our side. So we take these into consideration. If the momentum is strong, we want to go with the trend and not against the trend. So this level of 80 is denoting that the trend is quite strong, and if the output is still rising, that is the time to get involved. Of course, once it has touched 100 and when it starts to decline, that is the time to avoid making any new trading decisions with the trend, because the momentum is now showing the signs of reversal. So for us, it is better to wait for the moment when the momentum is going to pick up again, and this TII output starts to rise again towards these highest intensity levels. Same rule applies for the bearishness also. When the output drops below 20 on the lower side, we consider the momentum to be strongly bearish, and this is also the time to go short, not to reverse the trend, not to expect the reversal of the trend so soon. Instead, we can continue to take advantage of the trend and keep looking for the opportunities to go short. Here also the same thing applies. We go for the with the trend trades as long as the momentum remains strong. But once the price starts to show the signs of reversal, and as a result of that the TII output starts to rise from these lower levels, then we of course have to start avoiding new short selling trade till the moment arises when the TII output starts to drop again. So that is the time when we can go for initiation of the newer short sale trade. Here for TII, the output has been fixed at 0 for quite long. And if we look at the price volatility for the Euro USD, it has remained bearish. So even if you had looked for the opportunities to short sale for Euro USD since this 1 GMT of 9th May, that is yesterday, you would have been in quite a significant amount of profit. Even in today's scenario, after this spike, the Euro USD hasn't been able to sustain the momentum, and it has given up significant portion of its gain. It gains in the aftermath of release of US CPI. So this is a trend intensity index which we can utilize to go with the trend and profit from the strength of the trend. So if the underlying instrument is not really going anywhere and it is trading sideways, in that kind of scenarios, we are more likely to see the output of the TII stagnate and oscillate in between these two extreme levels. So in circumstances like that, we can avoid the trades, and also as I have added one more condition, to sit on the sidelines when the output starts to decline after having touched these extreme levels. Those are also the times when we have to take it easy. We should sit in the sidelines, sit on the sidelines rather than trying to get involved in the trends trend following system in expectation of the continuation, because at some point in time the trend is going to reverse, and we always have to keep that possibility in mind. So it will be in our favor if we follow some of these cautious principles, and also keep in mind the possibility of the trend reversal at any point in time. Now let us see what we can do in terms of the customization of this indicator. These are the edit indicator options. Close price, candle periods, and MA type. All these can be varied. You can go for different types of applied prices, close price, open price. As I am applying different applied prices, you can see that the output of this indicator is varying substantially. So depending on the kind of applied price you opt for, you will have these differences in your output of this indicator. The candle period here, this is the default value of 30. This indicator simply use the standard deviation principle, where we look at the average price on the basis of the applied price, and then if the momentum is bullish, we will have the deviation on the upside from these average closing values, and that deviation is considered when the momentum was on the bullish side. And we also take the cumulative deviation when the momentum was bearish. So all these output values of this deviation from the mean are taken together, and only one ratio is considered at one point in time. That is, on the denominator side, we have the sum of the deviation from both the sides, the upside deviation and the downside deviation, but in numerator we have the deviation from the upside only. So if the momentum has been bullish, we will have this value of this ratio on the higher side, and that's how this value of above 50 is considered bullish, while the output below 50 is considered bearish. Now, if you go for a higher calculation period, of course, the smoothing is going to be higher, but the responsiveness is going to be less. If I reduce its calculation period to 10, which is quite low, we will see that the responsiveness is going to be a lot higher, but it will not be that reliable. So, this is also one factor to consider, and you will have to carry out observations over long period of time on these chart and consider different types of scenarios to see how best you can utilize these customization options available on the platform. You can also go for different types of moving averages. All these options are provided. So if you try out these moving averages one by one, you will see the changes observed in these indicators output. So whatever suits your purpose, I think that would be the best possible moving average type to use. All these moving averages were covered in the series itself, where I have explained to you the types of moving averages and how best we can utilize these moving averages to look for favorable trading opportunities. So as you are aware, and even if you are not aware, you can always refer to those videos to simply understand these moving averages in a easy manner. And then once you are quite familiar with them, you can also try out these combinations in different types of indicators where all these moving averages are used. One such example is this current indicator of the TII. So using this formation, you can go for this customization to figure out the profitable trading opportunities. Now coming to the output, you can vary this color combination. All these options of the different color combinations have been provided. You can even go for custom color combination if you feel like. So that is also enabled, supported on the platform. Styling can also be varied, width and transparency can also be opted as per your preference. We have these two levels in place. Maybe you can think about adding one another level of 50, or any level which you feel is going to be helpful can also be added. Even these levels of 80 and 20 can be modified, removed, or suitably modified as per your requirement to help you in figuring out the trading opportunities. Coming to the advanced editing option, we calculate on new candle only. So this will get your value fixed for the current candle period. Highlight this time period zone, calculate from the custom data. You can customize this calculation. Instrument, candle grade, and side can be varied. Candle grade you can use from the chart, or you can even specify independently of the chart. So all these options are there. The indicator can be available on all the candle periods, or you can even specify on which particular candle period you want this indicator, and on that particular candle period it will be available, but it won't be shown on the chart when you go for other candle periods in these series apart from your choices. So that's how this indicator is going to be helpful. These are, of course, representative ways. You can always figure out newer ways to use this indicator for figuring out the trading opportunities. So I think my job is done for this session. If you have any query or any idea to share, do write to me the feedback, and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. I will be back tomorrow with a newer, interesting indicator to be dealt with, to be explained to you, and we can take these discussion forward. We can study how these indicators are going to be helpful for us to figure out the opportunities where we feel the probability of making money is higher. So do come back next time around. See you next time around tomorrow. Till then, have a fabulous time ahead, a profitable day ahead. Thank you all for joining in. Goodbye.